Hi, I'm John Patitucci, and coming to you live from Essen, Germany, through the ArtistWorks medium. And we are just thrilled to be, working with all of you out there. I'm going to play a little tune for you first, and I hope you'll be able to join me with some questions and chat and all that kind of stuff in a minute. Here we go. This is Whisper Not, a great tune by the great Benny Golson. All right. So hopefully everything's working out fine. I'm seeing a little delay between my feed and what's going to you. So hopefully you're seeing and hearing everything fine. Basically, I'm out here on the road with Chick Corea and the acoustic band. This is a group that we've played together for decades, actually, but we haven't played together in quite a long time. I've known Chick and started playing with Chick, and Dave, the drummer Dave Weckl, and I started with Chick in 1985. So we've known Chick for a very long time, and he was very responsible for making our careers into a worldwide situation, taking us internationally. So I want to see what's going on over here. So, it's very interesting to be here with you guys, because at ArtistWorks, no matter where I am in the world, I try to stay on in contact with you guys. And actually on this tour, which is pretty hectic and a lot of long bus rides too, I'm going to be planning on doing some work on catching up and addressing some of the cool video exchanges, that we get into, because you guys always have some great questions. So, part of the reason that I have for teaching in general, and also with ArtistWorks, is that I've been mentored through many years and playing many decades with some of the greatest jazz musicians that ever walked the planet, and they've been really kind to teach me things, including my brother and a mentor I had in the Bay Area. I'm from New York, but I lived in the Bay Area in California for many years, and I had a man named Chris Poehler, he says, but it's spelled Poehler, a very important mentor and a teacher in my life that prepared me for later on my career and everything. So it's really kind of amazing, to me, that I'm just this kid from Brooklyn who really didn't have any connections in the music world, and through the love and support of many people, I was able to have dreams come true, and that's kind of an amazing thing. So my reason for teaching is to try to help encourage people to pursue their dreams and help them on their way as much as I can. The site is amazing here at ArtistWorks, because a lot of the bass players, all the bass players that come are very supportive and helpful towards each other, which makes me feel great. And let me see, I think I'm actually getting some questions here. And I want to welcome Kiko from Brazil, or is it Wilson Guimarães? And thank you. Do you know Brazilian music, guys? He's asking. Well, I'll tell you what. The Brazilian guys I've worked with are many, numerous. I started first working with Ayrton Moreira, and I also had the great fortune to work with Oscar Castroneves, Ivan Lins, Dori Caymmi, Milton Nascimento, João Bosco, Claudio Sloan, the drummer, Carlos Bala, the drummer. So many people I'm forgetting anyway. Chico Pinheiro, lately, Vitor Gonçalves. There's Thalmo de Freitas, Luciana Souza. There's a lot of people from Brazil that took me in and taught me music, and I'm really thankful for them. So thank you for that question. And I'm open to other questions too while I'm talking here. I'm here just to be with you guys for a little while, and it's fun. Here I am in Essen, Germany, very far, thousands of miles from where I live near New York. So that's it. So there's another thing I want to talk about, because I also work with Danilo Perez at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and we have the Global Jazz Institute. So we have kids coming from all over the world, and we encourage them to pursue the folk music and the musics they grow up in and are influenced by and develop in their home countries. And then we challenge them and help them to use music as a tool for social change. So we take them around to third world countries. They teach young people who don't have any opportunities. They play in prisons. They play in nursing homes. They play in orphanages. And this is with Danilo Perez. And it's a beautiful institute in Boston. And so it's part of Berklee College of Music, and I encourage you to check that out too, if you're into that. But, online at ArtistWorks, like I said before, we have an amazing community. We also have the patented video exchange thing where a student sends me a video of them playing, and then I can send them one back from anywhere in the world, in fact, and help them specifically in what they're working on and what they're asking about and what they're struggling with maybe. And it's really, really a very cool system. And it's patented by ArtistWorks. So we're the only ones who have that. We also have a really great roster of artists on all instruments to teach, all the styles of music. So it's great. Let me just see. Here we go. We have another question. What's your approach on blues music? Okay. I'll tell you what this is Mr. Pratik, and you also asked, do you think you have to live in a particular place to play the music of that place? Does only listening to different stuff help you do that? And having grown up in America, the blues is something that I really connected with. But I'm sure the gypsy musicians from Spain and all over can relate to the blues. So I'll play you a little blues right now. This is from Mississippi, Fred McDowell. It's a gospel blues. It's called Morning Train. Okay. And I learned from listening to blues records. I grew up listening to BB King, who I later got to record with. And so here you go. This is a Morning Train. So that's some blues for you. Vinnie Roth, let's see. What is a good way to get into playing odd time signatures? Oh, wow. I have to tell you some things about odd time signatures. When I first started playing odd time signatures, I was playing with some Indian musicians, and that's an amazing kind of training ground. But it's Indian classical music. The odd meter music that they do it's very particular, and it oftentimes has like very rapid, small subdivisions of the music, and that's harder. I think for me, it was hard for me coming from a funk African-based music that I came up playing blues, R&B, funk, jazz. So one thing that helped me to get deeper into odd time music was Danilo Perez and his use of claves to deal with odd meter music. And he would stretch the beat out instead of having like 7/8, like sometimes people will do 7/8 and they'll divide it into a group of 4 and a group of 3. And they might go 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, and it's very quick. I like it when it's sort of based on a long form of the 7, or you could even think of it in 14. So like he'll do stuff like he'll teach you a clave. So let's say, and this is a long discussion. We'd have to get into a crazy thing. It would take forever, but I'll teach you one right now that you can memorize, and this way you don't have to count. So if you clap with me, if you go 1 ga ga chik ga 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 chik ga 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 1 ga ga chik ga 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 chik ga 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 1 2 3 ga ga 1 ga chik ga 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 1 ga ga chik ga 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 1 ga ga chik ga 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 chik ga ga ga. See, 1 2 3 4 ga ga 1 ga chiki ga ga ga. Practiced grooves a lot, and Danilo showed me these claves, 1 for 7, 1 for 5, so it becomes like 14 and 10. So there's a much longer arc to the odd meter, and it's based on a funky kind of groove, and that helps me a lot. That helped me actually also all of a sudden start to enjoy odd meters as opposed to just trying to survive them with counting. You know what I mean? Okay, we have another question from Gadiego Carraro. He said, I saw that you'll be in Firenze with Chicory, and I really want to see you live. I'm from Brazil, but I'll be there too, presenting my album. Oh, fantastic. And, congratulations on your record. Yes, we're on a massive tour with Chick and Dave. It's crazy, let's see. Wilson from Guimarães. I've been to Guimarães, and that's a place in Portugal, actually. Very nice. My English is bad, but music I understand. LOL. Very nice. Oh, okay, man. Obrigado, Wilson. Anybody else have another question? Am I a Zappa fan? My brother and I grew up listening to Zappa, and we loved, I remember Apostrophe, and that was one record we wore out. There were some other records too, I think there was one live in New York with the Brecker brothers. I'm trying to think of, let's see. What is the, let's see. Man, I can't remember all the names. Apostrophe is the one I remember right now that I absolutely loved. But there are other ones too. So yes, I have been a big Zappa fan, and he's a great composer too. He did a lot of stuff. Okay, do you tap your foot? Here's a good one from Tune Efficiency. Do you tap your foot at high tempos? Yes, but the Roxy and Elsewhere, that's the one. Somebody just pointed out the Roxy and Elsewhere record, which I love. It's an incredible record with Zappa. Incredible. And I love that record, actually. Thank you. Let's see. Do I tap my foot at high tempos? I learned how to do, with fast tempos, it's good to tap your foot in 1. So bang, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. So I'm thinking in 1. like 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay, I got to turn off my timer went off, but we can go a little extra. Let's see. Okay. So I've heard that BB learned jazz stuff from his accompanying musicians. Are you talking about Brian Blade? If you're talking about Brian learned, also came up playing in the church too. Overnight Sensation, that's another great record. Yeah, Vinnie Roth is coming up with all the Zappa records that I dig. There's another one called Hot Rats or something like that. I forget which. Yeah, some crazy records. Okay, so Mr. Carraro, thank you very much. Thank you for your words. I understand enough Portuguese to understand what you said. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, BB King. Yeah, BB King, one of my heroes. I also got to play, one time BB King was honored, and we did a big thing in LA at the Kodak Theater. And I got to play with BB King, with Terry Lynn Carrington on drums, with Bono and The Edge from U2. So that was a big thrill. Okay, I think we have time maybe for one last question, and then I'm gonna have to get moving here. But I'm really glad you guys tuned in. This is really cool. It's the first time I've done this live thing, you know. Let's see. Vinnie Roth says, I saw you with Chicken 1987 with Holsworth. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah. I remember that very well, actually. That was a great tour, and we got to really hang out with Alan a lot, with Chad Wackerman and Jimmy Johnson. Great. My equipment for traveling is the last question I'm going to take, I think. My equipment for traveling is, it depends on acoustic or electric. With the acoustic, I have this Pullman bass that I've had all my life, and I use a David Gage Lifeline pickup, and I also use a DPA 4021 clip-on microphone, and I use a Grace preamp, the one called Felix, which is a 2-channel preamp with phantom power and all kinds of stuff. And I also use Aguilar amplifiers. I think they're the greatest. Whether I'm playing acoustic or electric, they're great. So, okay. Somebody asked, ArtistWorks asked, do you practice every day, and what do you practice? A great question. It depends on what I'm doing. On this tour, I've been practicing, I always work on scales and arpeggios and things, but I try to do it in a creative way. Like I might just go through different keys in different orders, and I'll improvise. Like I might do, that's a C arpeggio, and then maybe since I landed up at the G, I'll come down F sharp, and then maybe now I'll go to A major, and then I'll go to F. Then I went down to E flat, not A major. Now I'm going to start a D major from the low F sharp. Now B major. Now you notice that I'm used to playing all over the neck, because I studied classically, so I had to play all my arpeggios and my scales, but I was taught to practice them musically and create chord progressions with them, as opposed to just kind of do them in a boring kind of, why am I doing this way? So that's one thing I do anyway. Thank you also. Let's see. Thank you, Tuna Efficiency, and thank you, Jailbird. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. And thank you, ArtistWorks. Thank you, Amanda from ArtistWorks, who set this up. And also Patricia Butler and David Butler, who run ArtistWorks. They're great people to work for and with. So, all right, you guys, take care. And, check out ArtistWorks. It's a great place, very nurturing environment for you to learn in. So please join us. Okay. Thank you. Good night.